This is the fourth or fifth time I've tried to record this video. It's not all been at once, right? I keep trying to make this video and then I end up watching it back and it's not very good, and so I delete it. This is the channel 2024 summary. It was supposed to be the 8,000 subscribers video, and then it was supposed to be the 9,000 subscribers video, and now we're halfway through January, and I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers, so I suppose we should start there. I mean, first, thank you. The channel is doing well. But first, I should probably introduce myself, right? Because I keep getting people asking me the same question over and over again, and it will become important. So, my name is Mr. Heinrich Hippler, and I'm a full-time PhD student. I'm doing a PhD in chemical engineering. The project itself is about a new way to separate carbon dioxide from the atmosphere using membranes. I don't want to describe it in any more detail than that. Obviously, I know a lot about it, having been doing it for 4 years. But if I describe it in any more detail, you'd be able to look me up pretty easily because I'm doing something pretty unique, and that was always the plan. When I was a kid, I wanted to do research and development. I mean, I wanted to be a scientist. I wanted to do all that cool stuff. So my bachelor's project was in detergent powder because I wasn't allowed to choose that. But my master's project was in wind turbine blade design, and my PhD is in stopping global warming. Right, so that's what I'm working on, and people ask me how I look, right? So how I sound, etc. So I'm like a third generation immigrant to the UK, basically. So that's why I sound English, even though I don't look English. My family moved here from Pakistan in the 1960s, right? This is what Saudi Arabians wear, right? I am a Muslim, but you don't have to wear this to be a Muslim. I've had some people ask me about that. This is what Saudi Arabians wear, and the reason I wear it is because I went to Saudi Arabia in July of this year. Oh, was it June? Sorry, that's my alarm telling me that I need to do something. Um, was it June or was it July? Either way, I went on a pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia and I bought this there, and then I thought it would be sort of funny to wear it. Um, the channel, right? So like, how does it tie into the channel? If you go back far enough, right, you'll see that I didn't even used to make Warno videos. The channel was just me and my friends, just messing about. Like if something funny happened while we were playing, I I would record it and just put it on YouTube. So it's typically like Arma 3 stuff. I used to play a lot of Arma 3. I used to run an event for Arma 3, and then that ended up not working out. I basically got myself kicked out. I was uh, yeah. Anyway, so then I started playing Warno because I'd been playing Wargame Red Dragon a little bit. I wasn't really any good at it, but I had about 200, 300 hours in it. And then they announced Warno. I was like, oh, great. New game, new me. And so originally it was just me, just like trying to. I was just like a standard sort of ladder junkie like everybody else. So uh, um, how do I put this? This is the reason I keep having to make the video over and over again. I was just playing the game and trying to be the best at the game. So I reached rank one. I was the rank one player, and then I was like in the top 15 for a very long time. Came second in a lot of tournaments. There was one guy I could never beat, and the only way I ever won the tournament was I teamed up with him in a 2v2 tournament and we won. And so I'd make funny videos just about that. If you go back far enough, particularly on the Wardo memes playlist, you go back far enough, you'll see those videos, and that was just so funny. There was me and another guy called Lathans, and we were about as good as each other. Sometimes he was better, sometimes I was better, because we'd keep taking breaks from the game and stuff like that. I think for most of it he was better than me, but and so we'd always team up in the 2v2s, and we'd always lose to this Ukrainian guy called Karma, and he doesn't play anymore. He's got a life now. He's a really nice guy. He was just really good at the game, and we'd get as far as until we had to play him, and it was usually like the grand finals, but sometimes it was round one, right? It just on the way the bracket works, and yeah, so that was I'd just make meme videos, and I'd play in the tournaments, and there were a couple Warno casters at the time, and they would routinely cast my games because I was a really funny guy to watch, because I would always throw, basically. I just played an extremely aggressive game, and I would just keep pushing, even if like so the way I play now is a lot more conservative to the way I used to play. I used to literally just run at people for 40 minutes. It was absolutely hilarious. I used to lose a lot, and it was because I understood that it was a spectator sport, right? I mean, it's you want to be entertaining, you want to entertain people, or at least I did, and they would cast my games, and I would continue to mess around because I liked it. I liked the attention, right? People would write in the comments, "Oh, I like watching this hippie guy. He's really funny." Then basically, I had like a sort of like mild political disagreement with this caster, and I thought it was like a fairly sort of mild thing. I didn't really think too much about it. But anyway, he stopped casting my games. And I waited a couple of weeks. He wasn't casting them anymore. And you know, I wanted the attention. I wanted to get back into it. You know, I wanted people to like me. I guess I don't know. I like the attention, and I was very upset. Um, like he hadn't said anything to me, right? He just stopped casting them. So I was a bit rude. Obviously, it's up to him what he does with his time. And so I was like, well, okay, I'll do it myself. So I started doing, like, uploading my own replays. So first it was replays. It was, I would watch my own replay back and talk about it. And then it was just live, me playing, because I didn't really have a lot of time. And my goal was to overtake this guy, to get more views than this guy. And that has very much happened now. It's very much happened now. And it happened within like 3 months. I enjoyed it. I was good at it. But this PhD was basically I was about to fail the PhD, and so I quit. And all the videos are still on the channel. You go back far enough, you'll see one of me saying I have to go to Aldi to get some milk, and then 3 months later, there's one saying, "Hey guys, I got the milk," because I missed it. I missed it. Um, so yeah, 2024 was my first year fully tryharding the channel, but it's not fully because of the PhD. Um, oh, where am I going with this? So that's my background. That's how we got here. So I've got some notes here. But like I said, I've tried to say this many, many, many times. Um, so we'll talk about how the channel's doing, and then we'll talk about what happens next, what's going on with the PhD and stuff like that. And you'll understand why I sound so not fantastic. So channel's doing really well. I'm just going to show you the screen. Channel's doing incredibly. So all I can say is thank you. I mean, I started this channel to get back at somebody in a petty fit of rage, and I made over £7,000 off it last year before tax. Right, I got to pay tax. This shows you it before tax, and basically, so this is the money that I made in 2024. I got 1.5 million views, and you can go back to 2023. You can try 2023. 2024. Oops. And you can see that in. So here you go. So I started, right? I was doing literally nothing. And then I was like, okay, fine. You're not going to cast my games. I'll do it myself. And then, it was going up a bit. And then I just sort of stopped again because I don't know what these little peaks are. For some reason. Oh, yeah, it's because I had a couple channel joiners who stuck with me, even though I said I wasn't uploading videos anymore. And there was a couple of them. It was Nbill, Arex, and Baron, and a guy I think he was called like Nighthawk or something. So thank you. Anyway, so as you can see, in 2023 we got 402,000 views. 41.7 thousand watch hours. Just like this doesn't really mean anything to most people. There are 8,760 hours in a year of your time, right? So this is like 4 people's worth. That would be 32. This is like 5 people's worth of just watching the channel for a year. 1,600 subscribers, and we made about 517 quid. And then in 2024, it's a bit higher. So we got 1.6 million views, and you know there are peaks and troughs. Generally, in the winter months, it does a lot better because most of my viewers are from the northern hemisphere. It does tell you geography and stuff, but basically they say that you shouldn't show people too many things to do like the ad revenue and stuff. Like you can tell them how much you make, but I don't know. I don't want to get the channel taken down. But yeah, it shows you the geography. The geography is like 50%. In fact, I'm just gonna look it up. Right, where are we? You guys can watch that 10v10 while I look up the geography. So audience. Oh yeah, there is an audience tab here. So in the last year. Oh, that's really annoying. I'm bugged. One sec. Almost there. I'll just edit this part out. Right, so here we go. So, 1.5% of my audience is female. It's pretty funny. Most of my viewers are about my age. I'm about to turn 28. And so, yeah, as you can see, 25 to 34 is the biggest one. And most of them are from the USA. And then the UK second, which is pretty funny considering, you know, I'm in the UK, right? And there's just more people in America, basically. And then third is Poland, fourth is Canada. Sorry, third is third is Germany, fourth is Canada, and fifth is Poland. So those are the geographies. Half of you aren't subscribed, right? That's why I always go on about it. But yeah, most of the people are about my age, and most of them are in the northern hemisphere. So going back to the views. So in the winter months, it tends to do better. Right, you see, it came down here, and that's because when it gets to the summer, people start going outside. It's also linked to the health of the game. The game was dreadful about here. It was the infamous zombie meta, I think, was about here. Or was it in 2023? Either way, I think the game was kind of bad about here, as well as it being summer. But yeah, 1.6 million views, a lot higher than in the last year. 211,000 watch hours, 7.7k subscribers. This was because I bought an ad. I bought a YouTube ad using YouTube's own thing, and it almost killed my channel because I got loads of subscribers who were probably bots who then proceeded to not watch any of my videos. So that's why this dumb point is here. So about 1,000 of my even like 1,500 of my subs were from that ad. So they're like dead subs basically. Most of them, I don't know. It really seemed to tank the channel because then it would recommend it to these new subs, right? And I use YouTube's own thing to do this, and it almost destroyed my channel. I was really upset when that happened because, you know, it cost me some money. And this was YouTube's own thing. It wasn't like an external illegal program. There's one of these tabs, it's called promotions, and you could just say, yeah, I want to buy an ad with the money that I've made, and you know, so reinvest it. I thought it makes sense to me, and it almost killed my channel, so don't do that if you're thinking about it. And then like the money, right? So the channel's doing really well. I can't thank you enough. The reason, so it's actually more like £7,700 because I also received some direct donations. One in particular from a very generous person, which pushes that up. Because this is just the YouTube stuff, right? And it's before tax. You got to pay tax, and I just, you know, it's crazy to look at. You know, you start something as a joke, and then you're like, well, okay, somebody slighted me. I'm going to try and win, and then you win. It's incredible. It's incredible. and I'm so low energy, right? Except this is amazing, and I'm sat here like whispering, which brings us to what I actually wanted to talk about. Um, so the channel is doing really, really well. Oh yeah, there's a couple more things here. So £425 of this has gone into tournament prize pools. I've organised a lot of tournaments, right, and I've been putting money into those. So I'm not embezzling at all, but I am embezzling a lot of it. I've been saving a lot of it. I've been paying taxes on a lot of it, but I've been saving a lot of it because of what comes next, which we'll get to. Um, so, man, it's kind of hard to talk over the MLRS, but yeah, I've got some. So about half of this is from memberships, the generous channel joiners, and the rest is ad, super chats, direct donations. So, so the memberships are doing most of it, and that's because basically you get more money depending on the demographic that you make videos for. So if you make like cooking shows, they do better. If you make gaming videos, they do a lot worse. And also, you can like exclude categories. So I don't have any gambling or alcohol adverts on my channel, and some other things which I've disabled. At least you shouldn't get those adverts on my channel because that's against my religion, right? And yeah, it's not worth it for me. So I make a lot less from ad revenue than I could, but a lot of that is self-inflicted. So yeah, how's it going? How's it going, Hippie? How's it going? So this PhD is basically like it's killing me. I mean, I'm not gonna give up, right? It's just you can probably tell, right? My videos recently, I've been worse. I've been worse at the game. I've been more distracted, more kind of angry. I mean, right now I'm just tired, but it just sort of changes between tired and angry. And it's crazy because the channel's been amazing. Like, you guys have helped me out so, so, so much. So I went to Saudi Arabia in June or July. I'm pretty sure it was June. And that was for a pilgrimage. Well, that's where I got this, right? So basically, as a Muslim, you're supposed to go to Mecca in Saudi Arabia once in your life, if you can, and do some religious things. Uh, and basically, we lost my grandma in 2023, and she had done it because that was one of the questions where we were like, did she do Hajj or does somebody have to go and do it for her? Because if somebody dies without doing it, your descendants can go and do it for you. Well, anybody can if they really want to, but you can only do one for one person, right? You can't just like all pay for one guy to go do it for you, right? And she had done it, and I was like, well, Mum, have you done it? No. Right. So I said, well, look, we need to do it. You need to do it because you might die. Uh, it sounds horrible, right? But it really put things into perspective for us because my gran, for like 20 years before she was dead, she was like she couldn't move properly because she had arthritis and she had all sorts of health problems that you tend to get as you get older, very common health problems. And so I was like, look, well, you need to do it now because you might end up not being able to do it. And so it basically they only take so many people each year. There are 2 billion Muslims, and they take about 3 million people each year, which it sounds like a lot, right? There's a lot of people that want to go. A lot of people go multiple times, things like that. And so it's almost on like a pseudo lottery system. They change it constantly, but I was like, look, well, let's just apply, and if we get it, we go, and if we don't, we don't. And it was very expensive, right? It was very expensive. It depends, like, basically you have to book it as if you would book a holiday. So you book it with a tour guide, and you book it with like a sub company that will take care of you while you're there. You used to just be able to go, but since the lockdowns and the from the coof, as they call it, that's That's what's been going on. So it's very expensive. They charge you more if you're from a Western country, but you also get a better service, right? And I could afford that because of this channel. I've got my own savings, right? But I could afford it because of this channel. So I really can't thank you enough. It's absolutely crazy. I've gone from trying to troll everybody out of spite to to being able to go on once in a lifetime religious pilgrimages because of the channel. So thank you. And yeah, it's just such a weird dichotomy, and it's only getting wider. The channel is doing better and better and better, and I'm doing worse and worse and worse. Basically, this PhD, it's all self-inflicted, right? I'm not after your pity. I did this to myself, and like this channel is connecting me with people from all over the world, and they say things like, "Thanks, Hippie. I really enjoy your videos. It takes my mind off the shelling." Right? And it makes me think, like, how can I complain? Nobody's trying to kill me, except, maybe one day I'll open my door to find a very angry Corsican stood there. But generally things are going well, right? Like objectively, but subjectively, it's like I can't hack it. I'm like really, I don't know how to describe it. I wouldn't say I'm depressed. I'm just like stressed, I guess. But I don't. It's really difficult to describe. I'm not like ah. I basically just. It's like everything's kind of grey. I just can't find the motivation to do anything, and it just seems so bizarre because everything's going. The channel's going really well. I've got a lot of people backing me, right? In that you guys, most of you want me to succeed, right? Um, my family cares about me. But it's like I can't, it's having a profound effect on me, and there is a point to this. I'm not just sort of ranting and raving. This is a reason I keep having to remake the whoa. So you see, this is what happens when you Alt Tab and then you come back in. It doesn't actually render all the units, but look at that. Look at that for quantity of units. Maybe we could decrease the icon size so you can actually see something. Maybe it is live, but you can pause the live things, right? So let's go for minimal. Hmm. We changed half of them, but not the other half. That's a nice name. And as I wiggle my mouse across it, ugh, blimey. There we go. And then I can tell what's happening. So basically, there is a point to this. So I did this to myself. I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have done it. Basically, I graduated during the lockdowns and I couldn't get a job in my field. But I could have got a job in a tangential field and then moved over. And I knew I'd hate doing this. But I was like, look, I want to do it, even though I know it's going to be rubbish. And I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. And I was like, why am I doing this? I know I'm going to hate it. And then I did it and I've hated it. I've hated it constantly for the last 4 years. So I don't know, there's something very wrong with me. Anyway, there is a point to this. And that's that, it's basically like an apology. I'm not after your pity. I made this mistake. I did this to myself. But the videos are going to be getting worse for the next like 3-4 months, and it's because of this, right? There's no magic bullet. There's no, I've tried a lot of things. I've tried exercising, tried eating healthily, waking up at the same time every day. I've tried praying more, and it's all helped, but it doesn't fix the problem. And so I'm just sort of like slowly, uh, just sort of mentally dying. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm making mistakes. I'm getting angry at things that I shouldn't be getting angry at, and the videos are me, right? You can play Warno, right? Most of you can, anyway. Well, maybe you can't play it very well, but neither can I. Uh, so the videos are me. People want to see like a happy guy, high level plays, and then like good commentary. And the commentary's getting worse. because I am getting worse. I am getting worse. And it's like, there's not really an excuse for it. I should not be getting worse. Um, but I am. So, yeah, I just, I'm not after your pity. I don't really deserve it. I'm an idiot. I just shouldn't have done this. But I'm just asking for your patience because over the next 4 years, sorry, about 3 or 4 months, my videos are going to be getting worse as I continue to circle the drain, for want of a better word. I wish I was cooler. There's so many things I want to do. I want to do more tournaments. I want to make more guides. I want to make better videos. There's so many things I want to do, but I can't because of this anchor pulling me down. This self-imposed anchor. I could quit tomorrow, right? It's my fault. I signed up for it, and then I didn't work enough in the first year or so. Uh, Now I am paying the consequences. So, so yeah, it's so strange. It's so weird. This is why I really struggle to make this video because, for starters, who even wants to hear this? But you need to know. You need to know because you need to have the information so that you can be like, look, I just kind of want to watch some chilled Warno. Then maybe you should not watch this channel for 4 months. It's not in my best interest to say that, but I owe you one, right? And you need to know that I'm getting worse. I'm not getting better. I've been trying. I've tried taking time off. I've tried working harder. Didn't really help. I've tried taking time off. It was worse. It was worse because I'm sat here and I'm not working on what I need to be doing. Um, so you need to know that the videos are going to be getting worse. I'm so sorry. I wish I could make better videos. I wish I could do a lot of things, but yeah. So what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Basically, this isn't going to kill me, right? It's just basically I'm going to be. That is one hell of a name. um, this isn't going to kill me. I'm going to get through it. It's just taking a lot longer than I thought it would. I should have finished in February, but I'm not going to finish in February now. It's going to be more like end of March, April, something like that. Um, so something nice happened, by the way. I don't have to pay for my own extension. I've been saying that in some of my videos. I thought they told me I was going to have to pay for my own extension, but then they sort of changed their mind. Well, it was a different department, basically. Said, you don't have to pay for it. So basically, they pay you to do a PhD. If you divide it by the amount of hours you work, it's less than minimum wage, but they do pay you. Um, you can look it up. It changes every year. It goes up a little bit every year, but when I started, it was 15 grand a year, and now it's 17. Um, so it's pretty low. I think the national living wage is like 21,000 a year, something like that. The cost of living in the UK is really expensive, by the way. I know I've got a lot of international viewers from like South America and stuff like that, and they'll be like, "Whoa, that's like an incredible amount of money." In the UK, it's not. You can't live on less than like 800, 900 pounds a month in the UK because you got to pay. Like my rent is £500 a month, right? My monthly outgoings is about £900 a month because you got the rent, you got the bills, electricity, gas, water. It's all going up. The food in the shops way more expensive than it used to be. Um, and so you can't really survive unless it depends which part of the country you live in, but yeah, the fact that my rent is only £500 a month is actually really low. Um, if you said that to somebody in London, they'd be like, "Whoa, really?" So that there is that. I was trying to get at something here. What was I trying to say? Something about rent, money. Something about money. The PhD. This just keeps happening to me. It's like I've got the reservist trait, the disheartened trait. It's not represented on the stat card, but you know something's wrong because the unit's just not doing it. It really is like that. The unit's just performing worse, and you're like, well, why? The stat card says it's the same. It's because yeah, I don't know. I'm disheartened. Um, I was trying to get at something. This is why I keep having to redo it. I can't say it. Yeah, so there was something else I wanted to say. It was basically, so what's going to happen next? What happens once I finish the PhD? Well, I'm not getting a job. Um, I've not even been looking. I've got some savings, thanks to you guys. This channel does not make enough to sustain me. I've already said, right? It costs me about £900 a month to live. And there's like, I don't really buy expensive things. I don't really go anywhere. I don't really do anything. It's still costing me about £800 to £900 a month to live because the rent is 500, and then the food is over 100, right? And then the bills, the gas, the electricity, transport to and from uni, it all costs money. Taxes, right? You gotta pay taxes, and there are lots of different types of taxes. So like there's tax just where you live, council tax they call it. It's like local tax, and then there's tax on your income. Um, but yeah, basically once I finish, I'm not going to be getting a job because, as you can probably tell, I'm a little ray of sunshine at the moment. What I will be doing is taking some time to work on my video game, which I shall now show you. So this is what I do instead of working on my PhD. This is how I relax. I make a video game. So what I've been working on most recently, which is something a lot of you guys have been asking for, is a map editor. So I can make maps in my editor, um, which I might as well show you. Right, so this is where I do my programming. Right, it's all spaghetti code. Please don't read it. I'm not a trained programmer, so I have to teach all my. I just teach myself it. So this is just for the map editor. It's like 824 lines, and then um, so I have an editor where I can place items and stuff, but I can't give this to you, the viewer, because um, licensing issues, security vulnerabilities, and I don't want people to just rip my game 100% and re-upload it to the internet. But something a lot of people have said is, well, can we have a level editor? And I thought, well, that's beyond my capability. I'm not a trained programmer. How would I know how to make a level editor? Well, it turns out, I had 5 days off, and in 5 days I managed to make like half a level editor. I was actually pretty proud of it. So this is a level editor. So you wouldn't see this when you launch the game because this is my editor. You would see this, and so you can move around the map, right? You can zoom in, you can zoom out, and you can save things. And basically, so for those of you who don't know, this game is called Hearse Hero, and it's a game about you're in a hearse and you run people over in the hearse because basically you're going out of business. And it's like Crazy Taxi, except instead of picking people up and delivering them to somewhere, you run them over. And so, yeah, so we can make a road, right? We can make a road here, and then we can make some pavement dip. So yeah, we can make a pavement dip here. And then we can make where's the crossing one? Road crossing. So there you go. So that's a crossing across the road. And you can put like traffic lights up and stuff, right? And so let's make a pavement straight edge. You can also make things higher and lower, which I shall now show you. That's a bit sort of a little bit more convoluted, but it's not actually that difficult. So you as the player will have access to this as you see it right here, and you'll be able to make your own level, and then you'll be able to play it. So where are we? Sloped pavement. Sloped pavement, straight edge. Yeah, here we go. So basically, we're building verticality now, and you see this level indicator up there? That's going up via a hotkey. There will be a tutorial, right? As in, I will make a YouTube video on how to do this, and yeah. So building slopes is basically the hardest thing in the game. It's hard in my editor as well, right? But you can build some slopes, right? And whoops, looks like I messed up a bit there. Basically, you can't edit a level unless you're on that level, just to stop you from, if you're messing with something up here, you accidentally reach through and delete all your level below. You're not going to be very happy about that. So yeah, this is, I'm basically showing you the hardest thing to do in the level editor, which is probably not Good salesmanship. Whoops. And so yeah, that's that. And then get a yes, I'm getting a bit bored now, but basically it would level off, right? So it's just leveling off into this. And you know, whatever, the road just ends. There are nicer ways to make the road end, right? You could have something like that, or you know, whatever. It could just keep going. So yeah, you can build verticality into it, and then you can put props in, right? So you can have real props such as newspaper stands, right? And you know, lights, benches. You can build little parks. You can put plants around. All of these are collidable, right? You know, you click on this, say, and you say, okay, I actually want it to be 0.50, and it will move. If you say you want it to be like higher, it will fall until it hits something, right? And that's all possible. And so there's also like funny props as well. So you can have some bowling pins. Why not? Giant bowling pins. And you see that's interacting with the curb there. It's sort of balancing a little bit on the edge of that curb. This is how bowling pins look. And then yeah, you can put a bowling ball up here. You can place buildings, right? You can have a city hall. Um, and you can, you know, let's say you get the rotation wrong, you could just come down here and say, I actually want it to be 270. You know, you could put it upside down if you wanted. You could lift it up or set it down if you want it to be higher or lower. You want it to, you know, you can even put like loads on top of each other, right? You can have a housing block on top of that. Why not? Why not? And then you would just press playtest. And here I am in my car, my hearse, which you've seen before. And basically, the idea is you're on a timer, you try and run people over. We've not placed the people to run over. I haven't implemented that yet, but it will have it. And yeah, you just sort of go around, and then you up here, right? And it's all physics, right? You can hit everything. So now we're going to hit that bowling ball, and you can see that thing is floating. We missed because we're bad at the game, but yeah, we just knocked over the pins ourselves. We sort of cheated a little bit there. And then you would be able to, you know, so you have your fun. You're like, okay, this is how these objects work. You would be able to, and eventually you'll be able to place cars and stuff which come up and down the roads. I can already do that on my end, but not yet in the level editor. Then you can just return to the map editor, and you can be like, okay, well this particular bowling ball offends me, so I'm going to delete it. You got to press props if you want to delete a prop, right? And you can, you know, okay, this one should be at 45. Why not? So that's it. That's the level editor. Eventually, you know, you'll be able to upload it to the Steam Workshop. I just wish I had more time. This is what I actually enjoyed doing. I did this for 5 days and I was really happy, but I got to finish the PhD because it's literally burning me up. So that's been a waste of 40 minutes of your life. Basically, TLDR. Channel's doing really well. Thank you. I'm a whiny little bitch, so I'm not doing very well. And I will eventually get better, and then I will make this video game. So that's how it's going in 2024, right? I wish it was a bit more profound, but it's not. I just need to sort of man up, and I'm trying to do so. It's just the quality of the videos is going to go down because, as you can see, I'm just not in the right frame of mind. So I'll see you around. GG.